Welcome to the NZ Travel Show, an interactive show where you can ask your NZ travel questions to the experts behind nzpocketguide.com, New Zealand's largest travel guide. The NZ Travel Show will start in exactly 2 minutes. Just the time for you to hit the like button, ring the notification bell and subscribe if you have not done so yet. NZPocketGuide.com has over 3,000 articles covering all aspects of travelling in New Zealand, from a working holiday gap year to tips for a perfect family holiday. The site also features dozens of pre-made itineraries that you can use to plan your ideal trip in New Zealand. It's all available for free at nzpocketguide.com, so check it out. The NZ Travel Show is hosted by Robin, the Operations Manager of South Pacific Pocket Guide, the company behind nzpocketguide.com. The New Zealand Travel Show is also hosted by Laura, a journalist and editor-in-chief of South Pacific Pocket Guide and all its publications, including nzpocketguide.com. We're exactly 1 minute away from the NZ Travel Show. Get yourself comfortable and start asking your NZ travel questions in the chat. Robin and Laura will go over them when the show starts. In 30 seconds, our experts will be live from New Zealand to give you all the practical New Zealand travel tips you need, from the best transport options to the best accommodations and activities to choose for the perfect New Zealand holiday. Live from New Zealand, this is the NZ Travel Show with your travel experts, Robin and Laura.
Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, the 8th of October, 2023. It is 8 a.m. right here in New Zealand, and this is the NZ Travel Show. How's everybody feeling?
Everybody. I represent everybody, and I'm feeling good.
Good. I'm feeling great as well. So, yeah, this is the NZ Travel Show. The way it works, is that you come on the live chat right now and you ask us all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. We are the experts behind New Zealand's largest travel guide, which is
NZPocketGuide.com.
And we're here to kind of help you plan your trip to New Zealand, make the experience smooth, and answer overall all questions about traveling in this beautiful country that is Aotearoa. All right. And we're starting with Fabio this morning. That basically just has a note from his parents saying he can't show up today to school.
Yeah.
So he said, "Hey guys, I would really like to join today, but I have to plan lessons on the new situation in Israel. After Ukraine, we have some experience with terror attacks, but I have to finish my lessons." Yeah, sadly, being a geography and I think history teacher. Yeah, he obviously has to keep up with the recent events, which makes us feel very good to live in a country as isolated as New Zealand. There's quite a lot of
things that we're sort of sheltered from so far away in this faraway land.
And we also have somebody very excited in the live chat today.
Yes, so we have Cherie saying, "Good morning, guys. I can't believe I leave tomorrow morning." Woo.
Cherie's been planning her trip for a while, at least 6 months with us, right? Yeah. I feel that has been a very long time.
It's finally here.
I know. She's basically less than 24 hours away before. About 24 hours away before stepping on the plane and
jetting off from Australia to New Zealand.
Enjoy your own bed as you're going to be in the camper van bed for the remainder of your month.
You're about to experience the joys of travelling by camper van, which is one of the very popular ways of travelling around New Zealand.
She say, I was meant to go on my trip in 2020. Oh, that's just a few years. You know, good things take time. You know, see your trip as a good wine. You know, that's just been oak barrel aged. You know, why do you say ferment?
It's been fermenting for a few years now, and now it's ready to go.
So yeah, Sherry, obviously, if you have some last minute questions or anything like that, go ahead. We're here for you.
She said that the flight is at 7:25 a.m. Very early wake up for me. Oh gosh, yeah, that will be very early. I hope you live near the airport, because then otherwise it's always that drive to the airport, but then you've got to get there 2 hours before your flight.
Oh, what's always annoying is like how early you have to be there, and then you do all the stuff with securities and everything, and then you're kind of like, well, I'm at the airport for an hour and a half. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's why Laura and I always pack some card games. Well, we posted on Patreon. I don't know if you remember. During our last trip to Tonga, we posted on Patreon that we were literally already playing games at the airports pretty much 30 minutes into our trip.
Yeah, we do have some videos on the channel of our favourite travel games for anyone that is interested in some nice travel-friendly games that are actually fun. Yeah.
Actually fun. Wow. Fun. Very judgy, Laura.
It's not Monopoly Deal. Let's just say that.
Wow, some burn right here. Okay, Sherry says she lives only about half an hour to 45 minutes from the airport.
That's quite nice, isn't it?
Should be good. So you can leave at 6:30, right? Should be fine. Are there fun solo though? There are some really fun solo board games actually.
Believe it or not, there are some solo board games and card games and stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever played solo any of them, but why not? Give it a go. Knowing you though, Sherry, you probably have a few books to get through.
Yeah. She probably has loaded like a lot of EPUB on her phone, and she's going to be reading. Yeah. All right. So while you guys are asking us all your questions about traveling in New Zealand, we kind of have a bit of a theme for today. And so the theme of the week is...
Waterfalls.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about the best waterfall that New Zealand has to offer. Who doesn't like a good waterfall? We don't really know why, but the rapids and water falling from height makes us humans feel really thrilled. And so with that in mind, we devised a list of the 20 best waterfalls that you won't want to miss when traveling through New Zealand. That said, New Zealand features 249 named waterfalls. And yes, we catalogue them all. No, we didn't. But there's 249 named waterfalls in New Zealand, so we're culling the week, and we are keeping only the best.
I think that's risen up to like 900 or something now.
If they're not named?
No, named waterfalls.
Named waterfalls.
According to there's a New Zealand Land Commission or something, and they have like the list of all named waterfalls on their website.
Okay, well, I remember there was only 249.
Okay.
Anyway, it's all good. With that introduction, let's get started. Sherry says yes, she has some books. All right. Okay. How does it work already? I kind of forgot. Oh, yeah, here you go. Boom. All right, so the first waterfall that we have is hidden in the Fiordland National Park in the South Island of New Zealand. And you can access it through the Milford track, and it is the Zealand Falls.
Yes, so this waterfall is one of the highest waterfalls in New Zealand. Although it was thought to be the highest, it's actually the third highest, because they have discovered some higher waterfalls since. But it's at 580 meters,
which is 1,904 foot.
Yes,
feet.
And yeah, it's split into three different tiers, dropping from the huge mountains of the Fiordland National Park. Like Robin says, you can see it on a side track off the Milford track, which is one of New Zealand's great walks. Otherwise, it is visible on scenic flights if you are taking a scenic flight from Queenstown or Wanaka, or even from Milford Sound. It's usually a feature on one of those trips.
All right, and for those who wonder, the lake which is feeding this waterfall is called Lake Quill. Okay, so next waterfall on our lists, Rumbles? No, not Rumbles. Barrel roll? No. What's the word for that? I don't know. Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, yeah.
It is Huka Falls. So Huka Falls is located in Taupo, which is right in the center of the North Island of New Zealand. And, well, you can find it by heading to, guess what? Huka Falls Road.
Yeah, so this waterfall is impressive due to the sheer volume of water that is being pushed through this very narrow canyon. So it's where the Waikato River is squeezing approximately 220,000 litres per second.
Which is 58,118 gallons.
Wow, you're so good at that, Robin. Yeah, it squeezes this huge volume of water from New Zealand's longest river through this really narrow canyon and then drops off at the end. It's just all the basically just seeing this amount of rapids and just like crazy tumultuous water is like the main attraction of Hooker Falls, and it's very easy to access. So yeah, like Robin says, you just take the Hooker Falls Road when you are in the Taupo area, and yeah, you just basically park up and walk 2 steps and you're already there. You already can see Hooker Falls in all its glory. However, there are multiple lookouts, so if you are able to, you know, go for a bit of an exploration, there are various different lookouts that you can enjoy.
And interestingly enough, Hooker Falls is the most visited natural attraction in all of New Zealand, and it's probably just due to its so easy accessibility. All right, so next up on our list, we have a waterfall that is found on the south island of New Zealand, and that's the Purakonui Falls. Purakonui Falls is found at the Purakonui Falls Roads. It's about 6 kilometers south of Owaka, which is in the Catlins in the South Island.
Yeah, so this is a very extremely pretty waterfall and one of many very beautiful waterfalls in the Catlins area, which is located right at the bottom of the South Island. And this has also 3 different tiers, so you see various different cascades of waterfalls. It's a very short and easy, actually wheelchair accessible walk to get to. Only takes about 10 to 20 minutes to get to a lookout just at the base of the falls, where you get a picture perfect opportunity to, you know, get some grams.
It does look fabulous. It is one of the prettiest of the whole country, isn't it?
It is.
All right, so next up on our list, we are heading back to the North Island. We're making you travel back and forth, back and forth. Maybe don't visit all the waterfalls in that order. Maybe put them on your itinerary, but not in that order. Okay, so next up we have the Kite Kite Falls, which is on the Glen Esk Road in Piha. That's in the Waitakere Ranges near Auckland.
Yes, so unfortunately, at the time of recording this video, the track to Kite Kite Falls is still closed, but hopefully they will open it soon. It is something that a lot of people sort of forget to explore when they go to Piha. So Piha is known for its black sand beach, its surfing, but yeah, just at the back of the town is this is a trail, about 1 hour trail to this really beautiful waterfall, which again is split into multiple tiers. Is looking very beautiful. Yeah, what else could I say? It's a good photo opportunity.
Yeah, multi-tier waterfalls are always like really a winner for me. I really do like it. Okay, so let's go to another very famous waterfall, and that is Stirling Falls, which is also known as Waimanu Falls. It's located in Milford Sound, pretty much right in front of your face. It's really big. It's there, so it's in the Fiordland National Park in the South Island. Yeah,
so most people experience this waterfall actually very closely. So every single Milford Sound cruise basically, gets as close as the boat can safely get to the waterfall, where the spray, you can feel the spray like from the waterfall going on top of you, if you decide to get onto the front deck, that is. And yeah.
If you want to be drenched, you will experience that waterfall.
Yes, if you want to be drenched, it's very easy to be drenched. If you want to stay dry, then you can easily stay dry. But yeah, this is a waterfall that a lot of people get, you know, a close encounter with, and is very fun to see, very fun to take photos of. And yeah, the best way to experience it is either through a Milford Sound cruise or on a kayaking tour. You can also kayak very closely to the waterfall.
It will humble you if you're on a kayak. It feels really tall, like right in front of you, just being on the water, because it's 155 meters tall, which is 509 feet. So yeah, it will humble you. All right, so that's our first 5 days. 5 more coming up soon. Hey Fabio, how are you doing? Oh no.
Oops. Theme of the week. week.
I know, a fumble of the week. Here you go. How are you doing, Fabio? Glad that you made it up here.
Yeah.
Did you get the postcard yet or not yet? I heard that Beverly got her postcard.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If you guys don't know, as part of our Patreon, we actually sent some postcards from some of the places we traveled to. And that was postcard month last month.
Yeah. So, hopefully your postcard from a very long distance has arrived.
Very, very long distance.
He says, decided on coming on the live stream instead of planning stuff I don't want to see.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's a pretty sad subject, isn't it? But yeah.
And he says, no, he hasn't got his postcard.
So Beverly's mailman is better than yours. Interesting turn of events right here. So Laura, out of the first 5 waterfall that we just discussed, which one's your favorite?
My favorite one is the one in the Catlins, the the one I can't pronounce, Purukanui waterfall. I think that's certainly the prettiest. What do you think?
I think Stirling Falls is pretty cool because you get to access it in different ways. You can see it from the shore, from quite far. You can see it on the boat. You can see it on the kayak. I do like the variety that you're getting out of it. And it's kind of like, it's one of the most memorable moments of any kind of Milford Sound cruise where they put the boat like right underneath it and, people get splashed and everything. It's kind of like, it's just a highlight. Like people always can tell you about it. You won't believe what the captain did. It's kind of like, well, we definitely can't believe that, but yeah, it's kind of really, really fun. So I think just for the highlights, clip highlight,
it's definitely one that you could experience in a more unique way than the other waterfalls in New Zealand.
Anthony Comstock, one other of our fantastic Patreon, is here saying Morena from Rodeo, California. Laura, what does Morena mean?
It means good morning in the indigenous language of New Zealand, which is Te Reo Maori.
And Fabio is crying over the slowness of the postman from Austria. And he's also telling everybody, 8 guys watching, maybe guys and girls. There's 2... And then says watching and only 2 likes. Please give us a like. Yay! Do it.
And Rick is here saying, hey guys, hope you are doing well. We are doing
we're doing
well.
awesome. We're talking about Waterfall. It's a lot of fun. I do like Waterfall. I mean, it's something you don't get tired of, I have to be honest. Like, Waterfall is really, really cool. So, yeah. And, aside from that, we recovered from our trip. We are back full speed, full force, making plans.
Watch out, world.
Watch out. We're here to crack some skulls and take some names. Whatever people say usually.
That turned dark quickly.
Anthony says, do I get a postcard too? We send postcard. It says a certain tier on Patreon. So if you check on Patreon, it tells you which tier you're getting a postcard from. I think is like level 3 or something like that. And we send a postcard a season. So it's 1 postcard in spring and in summer. And so the next one's going to be in summer in December. Sherry says, I don't know if I want to get out to see the Milford Sound one. It'll be very uncomfortable, a long drive back. Well, if you plan ahead...
Take your rain jacket.
Take your rain jackets. So,
But yeah, that's true. We did get very damp when we went on our last Milfords. To be fair, it depends on what the weather's doing. So I think I have been a few times where it hasn't been rainy weather. Therefore, you just go underneath, and then as it's sailing back towards the shore, you just stay outside, and the wind sort of dries you off. So that's usually what it's like. But
if you're on a good blow dry, you can stay out in the boat in Milford Sound. It's always very windy.
But the time that we have where we've got the video here on YouTube of us going to Milford Sound, and it was one of the wettest, rainiest weathers we have experienced at Milford Sound. Our whole clothes were actually very much saturated, and we were staying at the Milford Sound Lodge. They have a drying room there, so we were using the drying room, we were getting newspaper and putting it in our shoes and stuff. So I guess if it's really, really wet and there's no way to dry off, you probably don't want to get even wetter. But if it's a dry day, then why not? You'll dry off fine.
Yeah. Fabio is adding a bit of a tip and say, don't eat a pie in Te Anau. My stomach had a major problem after that.
Okay. You've got some insights coming at you, guys. So.
No, his insides were coming out. Cool.
Insights about Fabio's insides.
And Sherry says, will the rain jacket be enough? I've heard some people get absolutely soaked. You've got to make the call yourself, right? Yeah. You don't have to go right in the front. You can get a bit back. It's kind of really up to you. But honestly, it's a fun thing to do. But in a camper van, trying to dry things is a real
It is a
pain.
Challenge. Yeah, you'll find that out soon enough, Sherry. once you use your towel and, trying to dry it off, even those quick dry towels, sometimes you're just like, if you've got a few rainy days and you're like, oh, I can never dry this towel. But it's all part of the fun, don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to experience van life for what it really is, right? Van life is not just always all rosy and beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, so while you guys coming up with some more questions, we'll do 5 more waterfalls, because why not? We like waterfalls, so let's go. And let me just prepare that. Boom. 5 more waterfall coming right up. Okay, so next up on the list, we have a waterfall, which is called Bridal Falls, and it's located nearby the town of Raglan. So it's on Te Mata Road, about 19 kilometers, which is 12 miles south of Raglan, which is in Waikato on the North Island.
Yeah, so Bridal Falls, also known as Waiau Falls, is, it's named after, obviously, it looks like a bridal veil, and it's not the only waterfall in New Zealand called Bridal Falls. There's about 10 of them. So this is, there's a walking track to experience different viewpoints of Bridal Falls. First of all, you can get right at the top of the waterfall and see where it plunges into the depths below. And then there's a very steep track down to the bottom of the waterfall. So as you take the steep track down, there's various different viewpoints.
A lot of steps. A lot, like over, I think it's 150 steps or something like that.
I'm not sure, but
like a lot of steps.
Yeah, my brain can't think after I'm like walking up all those steps. So so there's various different viewpoints, and the photo where this was taken is at one of the sort of midway viewpoints, and then you can go right to the sort of the base of the waterfall at the bottom, and then you've got to walk all the way back up. So just bear that in mind. That can take a while, the waterfall is about 55 meters high,
which is 180 feet tall.
Wow.
All right, moving on. Devil Punch Bowl. So Devil's Punch Bowl's waterfall, Devil's Punch Bowl Falls, is in Arthur Pass Village in the Arthur Pass National Park on the south island of New Zealand.
Yeah, so this one is accessed again on a nice trail, which is just a steady incline, and it's a 1 hour return walk. And once you get to the end, you get to a platform where you get to see this really huge waterfall. It's 131 meters high, and it's quite hard to get it all into the same photo. To be honest, it is that big.
Even on that photo right here, there is more waterfall going like just under those girls.
Yeah, like most photos that you see of Devil's Punch Bowl is always just like, here's half the waterfall. It's quite hard to get an angle.
Yeah.
It's really impressive, and even the walk through the forest is really magnificent. It's just like feels like ancient rainforest that's kind of been untouched for millennia. It's covered in moss. Just that whole area of Arthur's Pass National Park is absolutely beautiful, and this is definitely a highlight on the Arthur's Pass Road.
All right, so next up, it is the famous Rere Falls. Not as famous as its friend coming up soon in this video, but yeah. So Rere Falls is located in the town of Gisborne on the North Island. It's on Wharekopae Road, approximately 50 kilometers, which is 31 miles away from Gisborne.
Yeah, so this waterfall isn't actually the tallest one in comparison to a lot of the other ones that we've talked about.
We are just small.
But it is actually really impressive in that it's super wide, and it feels really even all the way across. So it does make for some really nice photos. And it's also very much worth visiting, especially if you are also visiting what we're going to talk about in our next slide, which we'll get onto now.
Rere Rock Slides, so located at exactly the same place. Look at me, I'm having fun.
Yeah. So, this is basically New Zealand's natural water slide. Best gone down on a bodyboard or an old lilo or airbed. Definitely don't want to go down just on your bare butt.
Oh, no. No.
But yeah, although it's not technically a waterfall, it's kind of a waterfall, so we wanted to mention it. It's a really fun place, especially, to just try out in summer, and just go and experience it with it's mostly locals that are there just having a lot of fun, just sort of going there and joining in on the fun yourself.
It is a lot of fun. It's kind of like, basically a water park, but a natural water park, which is pretty cool. Okay, there's a bit of controversy surrounding number 10 on our list. So its name is Toi Falls, and it's located in the Whakapapa village, which is in the Tongariro National Park on the North Island.
Yeah, so a lot of people know this as Gollum's Pool. So, yeah, it is, although it is said to be a Lord of the Rings filming location, if you actually look at the footage it's compared to, it is very, very heavily CGI and is like really unrecognizable as Gollum's Pool. So there are better Lord of the Rings locations in the area that you can go to, which, check out our website to find more. But yeah, nevertheless, this is a beautiful waterfall to go check out called Toi Falls. It is accessed on a very easy trail, I'd say about 5 to 10 minutes, and there's an upper lookout and then a lookout from the bottom. You can clamber over a few rocks to get a closer look at this waterfall that is flowing off the edge of an old lava flow.
So yeah, it's a really cool waterfall. All right, there's 5 more coming up real soon. Boom. All right.
Boom.
What do we have? We have Fabio that says you can stay inside the boat and won't get a soaking in Milford Sound. That is true, but it's also very fun to get out and get under that big waterfall, let's be honest. And then he also likes the Raglan waterfall, the Bridal Vale waterfall, which it's a really cool waterfall. I agree. What is Rick saying?
Rick says, well, I will be staying dry in my yellow submarine.
So if you guys don't know, Rick is coming in New Zealand for a working holiday visa. He's going to buy a vehicle, and we've all decided together that he's buying a yellow car.
Yeah, which has now been upgraded to a submarine.
Yes, of course.
You heard it here first, folks.
You want your car to be weatherproof, of course. What is Fabio thinking about
Devil's Punch Bowl.
Yes.
Devil's Punch Bowl is nice too. We did that during our long stay in 2016/17, and it was really nice.
All right, so looking back at the 5 waterfalls that we talked about, which one is your favorite?
Ooh, I think Bridal Falls.
Oh, yeah?
I do very much enjoy that one, and I do like the fact that you can... Although the steps are a killer, seeing it from different views and getting like lots of different angles on it is really cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
You know which one, like the river rock slide, of course.
Yes.
I mean, just being able to like go down on the bodyboard along the waterfall is like that's the fun part.
And then face planting the pool at the bottom.
Yeah. But I don't know what kind of inclination you need to have to actually be called a waterfall, because it doesn't really fall at that point. It just kind of like goes down a slope.
Yeah, no, the water's not really falling at any point.
No, it's not really any falls, but it's, I don't know what's the definition of a waterfall. Is that really called a waterfall, or are we cheating right here?
Yeah, we might be cheating, but I don't really care.
Exactly. Okay, Anthony says, I'm going to you're writing things I cannot pronounce. I appreciate you. I'm gonna say but I'm gonna go to because my client needs to go to the doctors to be seen because his tummy hurts. All right. Well, thank you very much for popping in, mates. You'll be able to watch the replay. There's 10 more waterfalls. You may not want to watch
You don't want to miss them.
You don't want to miss all the waterfalls.
Yeah. But tell your friend I hope that he gets well soon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so remember, you guys can ask us all your questions while we are talking about waterfalls and everything, and we just kind of go through the comments in between waterfall kind of talk, right? So feel free to go nuts and ask your questions. In the meantime, we'll continue talking about waterfall because I really enjoy it.
Because why not?
Yeah, because why not?
That's what we're here to do.
Exactly. Waterfalls. Waterfalls. All right, so next up on the list, number 11, we have Thunder Creek Falls. Thunder Creek Falls is located on Haast Pass. It's a very easy pit stop in the Mount Aspiring National Park in the Southland.
Yeah, so this is one of quite a few waterfalls that you can see along the Haast Pass Road, but I'd say this is the best one. This is the one you don't want to miss.
Look at that picture opportunity right
Exactly.
here.
It is like a 2-minute walk from the road. There's like a small car park on the roadside. About 2-minute walk through the forest, and you get to a small platform where you can take this photo because just the view just happens to make you able to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Didn't know why I needed to explain that. But then after that, if
you don't?
No, you don't. Then after that, you can continue walking just a tad bit further, and you get down to the Hast River just below, which is really shallow. It's quite rocky. Robin did drop his. What did he drop when he went there? He dropped his GoPro and broke it. So be careful when you're going over.
That's a
those
funny
rocks.
video. That's a funny video.
So yeah, you can get a little closer to the waterfall and go and explore the river below. Beware of the sandflies, though. There's quite a lot of sandflies in that area. But yeah, the waterfall is a beautiful one to get a photo of, and it's 28 meters high.
28 meters is 92 feet.
Wow.
All right, next up on our list, we have the beautiful Macklin Falls. Macklin Falls is located in the Catlins on Rucastle Road, which is about 11.6 kilometers, which is 7.2 miles south of Papatowai.
Yeah, so this is another beautiful waterfall in the Catlins. I have to say this is one of my favourite ones as well.
Yeah,
in the whole country.
It's one of our favourite photo of ourselves with the waterfall right here.
So to access it, it's about a 20-minute walk through some beautiful rainforest. There's even a small waterfall on the way there as well. And then once you arrive at the main event, you'll see that it is multiple tiers that are, beautiful cascades going on there. And they're kind of like natural steps. So you can easily climb to that upper pool if you want to. In summer, there's often a lot of people sort of swimming in the area as well. But we actually visited in the off season, so we had the whole place to ourselves.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's just a very beautiful place. It's impossible to take a bad photo here. So enjoy.
All right, so it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. So the next waterfall that we have is Whiskey Falls. Whiskey Falls is located on Mount Robert Road, which is about 5 kilometers, which is 3 miles from St. Arnaud in the Nelson Lakes National Park on the South Island. Yeah,
so if you want to take it's quite a long lakeside walk in the Nelson Lakes National Park. The Whiskey Falls, it's on the lakeside, what's called the lakeside track of Lake Rotowiti. And it's a beautiful lakeside walk with lots of bird life, beautiful views of the lake. And then towards the end of, actually it's not towards the end of the walk because you can actually walk all the way around the lake, but what sort of midway and a good way to turn back if you haven't got the time to walk literally all day around the lake, then you get to Whiskey Falls, which is, you see it from quite afar. They have a main waterfall in the distance, which is about 40 meters high, and then it drops down into all these sort of rocks and pebbles, which then cascade from there down and down into the lake below.
Down, down.
Yeah, so this is, very beautiful waterfall. Again, we were chased away by sandflies after a while. So, these are sort of the places where you want to take your photos quickly and maybe find somewhere else to sit down for lunch.
All right. Moving on to Waiau Falls. So Waiau Falls is located on State Highway 2, so you'll basically probably going to drive through it between Pairora and Waihihi in Waikato in the North Island of New Zealand.
Yeah, so this waterfall is a really cool feature in Karangahake Gorge, which is known for its historical gold mining area. It has gold mining tunnels and old relics that you can see. At the moment, there are some of the trails there that are closed, but you can still access this waterfall on the historical trail. And again, this is a nice place to swim in summer, but otherwise, just the waterfall itself is very beautiful, very nice photo opportunity. And this area is, because it's located in a part of the North Island that's close to, that's in between some major cities and major towns, you'll find that this area is a bit more busier than some of the other waterfalls that we've talked about.
More busier indeed.
More busier. Very good grammar.
All right, so next up on our list, we have Rainbow Falls. Rainbow Falls is located on Waipapa Road in Kerikeri, which is in the Bay of Islands in the North Island of New Zealand.
Yeah, so this waterfall is, as you can see, very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's 27 meters high, which is...
88 feet, Laura. I definitely wasn't caught off guard. Absolutely not.
Our real-time conversion master over here is, always here to provide. This can be accessed in various different ways. So it's very easy to access from the Waipapa Road, as Robin was saying. There's a big car park there, and then you can literally get a viewpoint straight away.
It's kind of paved all the way.
Yeah, well, it's not paved.
Well,
it's gravel. Very good, well done
well
gravelled.
maintained, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see the top of the waterfall from different angles, and then you can choose to walk as far as you want, all the way even to the base of the waterfall, where some more adventurous folk might like to try and scramble their way over the rocks and go behind the waterfall, which is quite cool. And then the track actually continues down the river to the Stone Store and Kemp House, which are some historical sites in Kerikeri. So you can spend the whole day sort of making a big activity of this, or you can just visit it really quickly from the car park.
And the Maori name for Rainbow Falls is Waiau Falls.
Oh, beautifully said, I imagine, Robin.
I hope so. All right. Okay, there is 5 more coming up soon. All right, so what do we have right here? We have Fabio giving us a definition of waterfalls.
He says, waterfall, water, especially from a river or stream, dropping from a higher to a lower point, sometimes from great height.
Okay, so definitely meeting the definition, even if you go down a little bit. So
so dropping from a higher to a lower point. Rare slide.
Use a glass of water, do that, you've done a waterfall. Here you go, sorted.
Yeah, we could create our own waterfall.
I know. Sherry says, I wonder how easy it is to take this photo solo. I'm thinking she's talking about Thunder Creek Falls.
Yeah.
You could do it with the GoPro selfie stick anywhere, but that wouldn't be as easy. Ask somebody else. There's always some people there. There's always people around.
And it depends how silly you feel asking for that photo, because you'll be like, is my mouth aligned with the waterfall? I can imagine that would look pretty funny. Sherry says, so many pretty waterfalls that aren't on my road trip. Looks like I'm going to have to come back.
If you've got to see all the pretty waterfalls in New Zealand, they are hundreds. So,
they really are.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And you'll probably stumble upon some as you're driving as well. You'll see like a sign to some waterfall, and you might as well check it out. So, yeah.
What is Rick saying?
Rick says, now we are on 15 waterfalls. What area has the most waterfalls?
Ooh, that's a good question. So my gut feeling would be somewhere on the South Island, just because the mountains are more rugged than you have on the North Island, and especially if you say which area has the most waterfall, it would be a concentration of waterfall. And so I would say it would be on a rainy day the drive down to Milford Sound. You will literally have mountain cliff on both sides covered with waterfall, like continuously for the whole drive down. So I would say on a rainy day, drive down to Milford Sound, and you'd be like, oh, and so that'd be a very long drive if you try to take photo of all of them.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but interestingly, when I was making this list, there are more there's a lot more named waterfalls that are attractions that are easier to find on the North Island than on the...
Do you mean they're more accessible?
They're more accessible, yeah. So although there are tons of waterfalls on the South Island, like the ones that are more tourist attractions that are, easy to access, I think I can think of more on the North Island, like more ones to, name and stuff on the North Island compared to the South Island. So I wouldn't say like... the North Island doesn't have any waterfalls in comparison.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
I know you're not, but I just think it's kind of surprising anyway. It's like you don't really expect the North Island to have as many, but there actually is.
Oh, well, there you go. New Zealand has a lot of water forming from some height.
Yeah.
Sherry says, random question. Are there any sandflies at the end of the Hooker Valley track?
Well, I'm always surprised at how far sandflies seem to get, but it's not renowned for that. Yeah, it's not.
Really recall
I think it might. Maybe it's a little bit too cold up there for them. From memory, I don't really think sandflies were an issue there. But like I say, sometimes we just get sandflies like in our back garden. They're just they're just everywhere.
And the thing is with the weather as well, getting warmer and warmer and warmer every year, right? Significantly already. Like we are in October right now, and it is quite warm. We're barely wearing any jumpers right now.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if in the
Yeah.
next, let's say, 2 years, like sandflies start making their way up the kind of,
Yeah.
Hooker Valley track and start kind of colonizing this kind of little area.
I
over
mean,
there.
I wouldn't approach the Hooker Valley track like, oh, I'm going to get eaten by sandflies.
No,
I'm going to
no.
make sure I've got my insect repellent. I don't think you'd have to be too prepared for that compared to, say, if you're doing a walk on the West Coast type thing. So yeah, I would say don't worry too much about sandflies, but if they start biting at you, it just means it's time to go.
yeah. Basically, the sandflies are kind of your timer to tell you that you've took a long enough rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically their job, right? They have a job. They are assigned by the Department of Conservation. They are their own roster in certain hike, and they're like, okay, tourists, you need to move along, right? And that's kind of what they're here to do. They've got a job.
Yeah.
Okay. Fabio says, I'm pretty sure Fiordland has the most waterfalls. Yeah, I mean, that's my gut feeling. But, if we're talking about the concentration, as I was saying, they are waterfall very much all around New Zealand.
Yeah, and there's parts of Fiordland that haven't even been, like, fully explored yet as well. And, I was saying at the beginning of the video that Zealand Falls was thought to be the highest waterfall in New Zealand for many, many years. But then they discovered 2 more waterfalls that were higher in Fiordland. So there's always more waterfalls being discovered.
And named apparently.
And they're all in Fiordland.
Where is the Robin and Laura waterfall?
Well, maybe we should make one now.
Okay. Fabio says the most scenic waterfalls are in Catlin's, in my opinion, and in the Waikato. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, obviously, we have shown some pretty cool ones from the Catlins. I tend to agree. There's some really nice ones. But, yeah. I didn't ask out of the last 15s, which one did you prefer out of the last 5?
I'm going to steal McLean Falls before you do.
Oh, I do love McLean Falls. Well, then I'm going to have to go for Thunder Creek Falls for the city photo, the ease for access, and also that memory of me breaking that poor GoPro. It's just so fun. Fun times.
Yeah.
And Sherry says, I think I will be wearing jumpers. Jumpers with a nest? No, you won't, Sherry. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but you'll be spending like a lot of your time outside in your camper van. I think that's a good call.
We were walking outside 2 days ago and we're like, we should not put a jumper on. We're both sweating.
Yeah, it did. When the sun is out at the moment, it's so warm. Like we went for a walk the other day and it was just so hot with the sun. But then like I've said a million times on this channel, as soon as the sun goes,
as soon as you get in the shade, you get cold.
It's cold.
Thunder Creek is nice, Fabio. I really liked it in July. So here you go. I got the seal of approval from Fabio.
Yes.
I like it.
It's a good place to go in winter.
All right, continue, guys, with the comments, guys and girls, and we will continue with some 5 more waterfalls. And we're starting with Fanger Falls, which is on Nguru roads. I can't pronounce that road ever. It's in Whangarei. You can't miss it. If you arrive in Whangarei on the North Islands, there is signs to the Fanger Falls everywhere. It's very easy to access.
Yes, it's even just seeing it again. This is one that you park up, walk 2 steps, and you're at the top of the waterfall straight away. It's a 26-meter high waterfall, which is
85 feet.
Ooh. And yeah, so it's a very pretty waterfall. First view of it is from the top, and then you sort of do a loop around, crossing over a very picturesque bridge over the river, and then you get to the base of the waterfall. If you look in the water below, you may see some eels. So, I mean, if you want to go for a swim, that's up to you, but there are eels in there. And yeah.
Eels are fine. They're not mean.
Sometimes they bite.
You've got to annoy them for them to bite. Moving on.
Yeah.
All right, should I move on to the next one, Laura? Do you have anything else to say about that?
No, just beware of the eels.
Eels won't
Leave
do
the eels alone.
All right, next up on our list, we have Haruru Falls, which is located on, well, fittingly enough, Haruru Falls Road, approximately 5 kilometers, which is 3 miles away from Mahia, on the Bay of Island in the North Island.
Yeah, so this is another one to experience in various different ways. You can just... there is a car park at the top of the waterfalls, and then you can see them from a viewpoint from the top. Otherwise, there is a long boardwalk walk through the mangroves called the Waitangi to Haruru Falls track. This is quite long though. It takes like 2 hours and 30 minutes one way, and then you usually have to walk back from there. So yeah, that's another way to experience it. But the most unique way is to go on a bit of a river cruise. You can
Slash kayak.
slash kayak. So yeah, most of the tours are actually, they used to do kayak tours all the way from the bottom of the river, but they don't really do that anymore. It's a cruise that takes you to the waterfalls, and then they have kayaks and supboards attached to the boat, and then you take them off and you can go for a little paddle underneath the waterfall, which, you know, more ways to get wet. What can I say? If you enjoy getting splashed on, then Haruru Falls is a great place.
If you enjoy getting splashed on.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have the beautiful Taranaki Falls, which is not located in Taranaki but in the Tongariro National Park in Whakapapa village on the North Island. I know it's confusing, but Laura will explain.
So, well, I can't really explain the name behind it. But I can explain more about the falls. So it's located on the Taranaki Falls track, which is a loop walk. Takes about 2 hours to do the whole thing, and there's lots to see along the way. You will see views, if it's a clear day, you'll see views of Mount Tongariro and Mount Nauhoi, and then you'll see Mount Ruapehu on the other side. So there's lots of things to see. There's a bit of a section going through beautiful forest, seeing beautiful rivers, and then of course the main event is Taranaki Falls itself, which again dramatically drops from a lava flow and is,
it looks really cool,
very beautiful to admire.
All right, so next up on our list we have the Waiau Falls. So it's located on Godwin Road, which is about 15.6 kilometers north of Matamata. That's 9.7 miles. It's located so near Matamata, near where there is a Hobbiton, in Waikato in the North Island.
Yeah, so yeah, it's how about instead of going to Hobbiton, go see the largest waterfall on the North Island.
Ta-ta! Largest yet. Apparently they keep discovering some.
I think North Island is kind of mostly been explored.
Mapped,
yeah. So it's 153 meters high.
It's 502 feet, Laura, high.
Wow. Yeah, so there's you can either make a really long walk out of this, or you can make a sort of, you know, easy sort of short walk through beautiful forests, seeing amazing crystal clear waters in the river, and then you get to the first lookout, which takes about 45 minutes to go, basically to walk there and back if you're fit, or if you're really slow, then maybe 45 minutes to get there. And yeah, you get that first look out through the forest at the huge waterfall. Again, it is so big, it's hard to get it all into one photo. And then the trail continues on. It gets a bit rougher, a bit gnarlier as you go, but you can do a complete walk, which is 3 to 4 hours long, to get various different viewpoints of this massive waterfall.
Mahusive, she says. Mahusive. All right, so next up on our list we have Waiau Falls. Waiau Falls is located in Waiau Bay in the Abel Tasman National Park in the South Island of New Zealand.
Yeah, so this one can be accessed if you go over the Takaka Hill to Golden Bay, and you access the Abel Tasman National Park from the other side, not from the side that most people go from, but yeah, the side hardest to get to, basically.
Yep.
But yeah, Waiau Falls is it's a nice, another easy one to access. It's about 1 hour 20 minutes walk through beautiful lush forest and over a swing bridge to this beautiful waterfall, where more beautiful photo opportunities are awaiting, so go get them.
Indeed. All right, so that basically wraps up all our favorite waterfalls in New Zealand. Obviously, we only covered 20 out of all the different waterfalls that are available in New Zealand, and it's a matter of taste, it's a matter of opinion. There may be plenty of other waterfalls that you find prettier, you find better, you find more accessible, and it is absolutely okay. The point of this video was just to inspire you to get a bit more off the beaten track and to maybe get to go discover some different waterfalls and things that may not be yet on your itinerary. There is much more tips and advice on nzpocketguide.com. There is a link to full articles in the description of this video where you can get much more information about each of those waterfalls and many more. So check it out, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, let's go back to the live chat. Woo! All right, what do we have?
We have Cherie saying Auckland is a high of 16 tomorrow. That's cold.
It's not cold.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
What is Girish saying?
Girish says, hello, sir, ma'am. How many years it will take for a PR at Auckland? I'm coming for a BBA, then MBA.
So we are not able to give you any immigration advice because, well, things change all the time. And also in New Zealand, you have to be a registered immigration advisor in order to legally have the right to give immigration advice. And since we're not, we shall not be able to give you any of those advice. In order to get the best and most accurate information, you can head to immigration.govt.nz, which is the only official New Zealand website for all these kind of questions. Please don't go to any other website for your immigration questions. It's immigration.govt.nz. I hope that helps. Sherry says, I'll be going to Taranaki Falls. That's a good fall. That's a really good one to go to.
We approve of this message.
Yeah, and she said, I think I'll be choosing Hobbiton. It's as pretty as the waterfall is.
She says, as pretty as the waterfall is.
Oh, no, okay, so it's not as pretty, it's just...
As pretty as the waterfall is, I think I'll be choosing to go to Hobbiton.
You see, that's what we're losing with just, with just text based, right? The intonation right here, I'm kind of like, I didn't get the pedantic kind of ways to say it. So,
Can't imagine that, You need to imagine her voice saying it.
Indeed.
Yes.
Sherry says 25 degrees is nice. Okay, well, 25 degrees.
That's nicer, I agree.
And Girish says thank you. You're very welcome, Girish. Fabio says, isn't BBA Bachelor of Business in Art and MBA Master of Business Art or something like that in English? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It sounds like some
Again,
sort of
we're not
study
university experts either, so ask us questions about traveling in New Zealand. That is what we can answer for you guys.
I don't do the school thingy.
In terms of studying in New Zealand, immigration questions, that sort of thing is not really what we do on the channel.
Yeah. PR is easy in NZ or Australia. Okay, well, if you think it's easy, go for this path.
Go nuts.
I'm not 100% sure. Nathan Sinke. I will pronounce it like that. Nathan, did I just absolutely destroy your last name? Probably I did. Okay. He says, or they say, hello, we're coming to New Zealand for a honeymoon. Congratulations, mate! At the end of October. Ooh, that's soon. Planning to mostly camp. And we saw the biosecurity requirement. How clean does your equipment needs to be? Are dirt stain okay? And the ES is silent, so sink. Okay, dirt stains are okay if it's clear that it has been washed over, right? But I need dirt clumps or dirt.
It's basically like loose dirt is more where there's an issue. So yeah, just as long as you go over your gear, make sure you get off any loose dirt, give any clean where it seems appropriate. But yeah, stains that you can't get rid of, I mean, that's
You'll
fine.
Be fine. A good, it's not really a trick, but a good tip for me to say, right? If you have something that there is like a big stain and everything like that, right? Just use a little bit of dish soap and kind of like rub it, kind of like shampoo it just a little bit, because it will smell like it has been cleaned, so they won't have any extra question if they end up looking at it or anything, right? They'll be like, oh, this guy made an effort and it's fine, right? So yeah, that's what I will kind of say. But they will ask you a question, so make sure you declare everything, right? Make sure you're super forward with it.
They may ask to look at it, which is very common. And nothing to be worried about. Make sure it's easy to access and to get
so
out.
They'll ask to look at it, and they're gonna say, yeah, that's cool, just pass, right? But yeah, especially having just shampooed it, just do it today, right? You don't have to do it like the day before or something. You should be fine. So yeah, that's exciting, mate. A trip in October, at the end of October, that's what, 2 weeks? That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, if you have any questions about planning your trip, my friends, we're here for you for the next 7 minutes.
Keep them
but then we're here next week.
So we do this live show every Sunday at the same time. Well, Sunday New Zealand time. So I don't know if it's different for wherever you're from in the world. But
we have for 1 hour only. So
1 hour every single week at the same time as right now. So yeah, feel free to come back to ask your questions.
Yeah, and if you join us on Patreon, even just for 1 month, after this live show, we actually do a video call where we can all talk together for an hour after that. So yeah, that's fun. There's a link at the below. Fabio says, speaking of Patreon, the original Patreon subscriber says, they will ask you at biosecurity to be honest and you won't be a problem. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Mature X is here saying Morena, and Fabio replies saying Morena as well.
If you guys don't know, Morena means good morning in Maori, which is the local indigenous language here in New Zealand. Nathan says, got it, thank you, you're welcome. Kirish says, as you have been into Australia, New Zealand, and US too, which one is your favorite? Oh, that's a tough one. So, for the lifestyle, New Zealand. For the work, kind of job market, work ethic, and all that, I prefer the US. And Australia happens to be a country that exists.
So Australia is not in your top 10 countries.
out of those 3 countries, Australia sadly has to fall off the top 3. So yeah, but you know what? For the kindness and the fun that is Sherry, Australia is best. So here you go. Here you go. I brought it back. I brought it back right here. But yeah, Machoa X is asking, how was my little video? Yes, that was pretty cool. That was awesome to see you in beautiful Tauranga. Yeah, I wish the video include a couple of your menus from the bridge. And yeah, Fabio says Robin does not want to immigrate to Australia. No, it's not really. It's not coming anytime soon. If I can be really honest. It would have to be a very compelling reason for me to immigrate to Australia.
Robin did do a working holiday there, but cut it short.
Yeah, I had to leave. It wasn't my vibe, Australia, which is okay. It's fun. You know what? We should do a video of like why is it better to travel to New Zealand rather than Australia? That'd be a funny one to do.
I'm sure you have a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, Sherry's in Australia. That's what I said. For the kindness of Sherry, Australia is best. So here you go.
That's the main reason.
Go Australia. Go Australia. No, I wasn't rude. I said something nice about you, Sherry. I changed my mind. He says, I didn't want to show you my menu before I see your menu. Yeah, well, mine is usually just a plop. Because I'm too tiny.
We did do some in Samoa. I don't know if we took any videos of it, though. But we did do some waterfalls.
Oh, that's
in
true.
Samoa.
That's true. I kind of forgot about that.
We have photo evidence, but maybe not video evidence. Yeah. I'm not sure about that.
Fabio says, Laura, sorry, he wants to live in Tonga. Yeah, I you know what? I sure would live in Tonga very happily. That would be really fun.
Yeah, I think I would prefer to live in Tonga as well.
Yeah. All right. So last minute questions. Anyone that's coming soon? Sherry is coming soon. Nathan is coming soon. So if you guys have a couple of questions in the meantime, what do you say? I got a few menus at the Tokora pools. Nice. The highest waterfall in New Zealand. Which one is it?
It is called Toi Falls.
How high is it?
It is 750 meters.
Wow, that's 2,460 feet. Woo!
It's located in the Fiordland National Park. I have no idea how to get there. I'm just going to say it's probably so deep in the Fiordland National Park, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know how to get there.
What's the smallest waterfall in New Zealand?
Well, we have visited the smallest waterfall in New Zealand, and it's Niagara Falls in the Catlins.
Yeah, the Catlins always here for delivering. So yeah, if you want to see the smallest waterfalls in New Zealand, it's worth a pit stop.
It's an actual attraction, which
there's a sign and everything. And
I technically don't think it's a waterfall. I don't think there's any aspect of that waterfall that drops.
No, I don't think so.
It looks like it's a rapid.
Yeah, but ironically, they named it Niagara Falls. What's the theme for next week? Says Sherry. We'll do the weather for next month.
Weather
because you guys.
Not October, November.
Yeah, that's the month after October.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Because you guys keep on asking us the weather like earlier, so I decided to put it for next month. Fabio says Patreon, if you want to see my dog sleeping next to me, join the chat today. Oh!
Well,
Fabio has a really nice Shiba dog, which is very cute. So, yeah, very nice. Sahil says, which city of New Zealand would pop in your mind when compared with Sydney, Australia? Well, the one I would compare the most to Sydney, Australia is definitely Auckland, right? It's a big metropolis comprised of a lot of different suburbs that slowly get eaten and become part of that really big city.
It's a harbour city, close to the water.
Exactly, with a lot of the things happening in the centre. So there's a lot of commuting for both the nightlife as well as the work life toward the city centre. And there is a lot of suburban life coming outside. With a thriving housing market, which makes it hard to afford any kind of living. So if I had to compare, I think that Sydney would be most comparable to Auckland. Matua, I thought I was speaking English yesterday, but realized I was speaking Maori. That was nice. I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sherry says, I don't know how presentable I'm going to be for the Patreon show. I just got out of bed. Well, it's fine. You don't have to put the camera. You can just put the microphone. Nobody forces you to put the camera. Nobody forces you to put the microphone.
Yeah.
The Patreon show is on your terms. We give you the option to pop in, but you can do it exactly like you're doing right now, by just typing in the chat, and it's okay. Sherry says Sydney is so expensive.
So is Auckland.
Yeah, so is Auckland as
Yeah.
well. I don't know. I don't know if there is any comparison between the cost of life in Sydney and Auckland, but I think they're both extremely expensive. Because Sherry, I think she's living in Sydney.
I'm not sure.
I think so, right?
Where are you living, Sherry? She says, I think I'll be typing. Fair enough. Sahil says, you guys know what? I guessed right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Good job, mate. Good job, Sahil. And we also have Sherry that says, Sherry and I will be in bed after the chat. Oh, okay. I'm not going to ask anything. You guys have your own thing going on.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
fine.
all right.
Australia.
Long distance relationship.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you're making it work.
Yeah, no, I'm proud of you guys. I'm very proud of you guys.
She says, I live in Sydney. Everything is crazy expensive. Okay, you've
Yeah.
heard it here first, guys. Sherry is coming straight from Sydney, saying everything is crazy expensive.
She's our economy specialist from
Yes.
from Australia, coming right in with the analytics of the cost of living in Australia.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. Fabio and Sherry is like, wait, what? Yeah, no, we know what's up. We know what's up. All right, let's get the Patreon show started. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining this live show. We'll be back here next week at the same time. If you want to join us on Patreon, there is a link in the description below. You can join us for like a month or something like that. And it'd be fun. And you get plenty of extra perks, such as a secret Facebook group where you can ask us all your questions all week long to plan your trip to New Zealand.
And yeah.
What? Fabio and Sherry are engaged.
Congratulations to Fabio and Sherry.
Yeah, that happened. Okay, well, we'll unpack all that during the Patreon show, I guess. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.